There's no perfect year for any base metal company in 2020, right? So this is where investors have to take a look at the management team and say, are these guys good shepherds of a company in a challenge?
All right, StockPulse on location, PDAC 2020. I've got Brandon Macdonald. He's the CEO of Fireweed Zinc. Fireweed trades as FWZ on the venture. Brandon, appreciate you stopping by for an update. Some big news yesterday. Why don't you break it down for us?
Yeah, so yesterday the Yukon government, in conjunction with the Ross River Dene Council First Nation, announced that they had an agreement in principle to allocate $71 million of government funds to improve the Robert Campbell Highway and the North Canal Road. These are the access roads to our project. So this is huge for us. I mean, if you remember our PEA from 2 years ago, there was a good chunk of our capital went into improving that exact infrastructure. Because we wanted to be conservative and wanted to say, look, if we don't have a commitment for it from the government, we put that cost on us. So this is the first step in eliminating that capital from our own responsibility. So the markets respond positively. We had a lot of congratulations. We're pretty happy. It's good for us. It's great for the community. So it's a good thing to have happen.
Yeah, rough last week here for us, but again, you're up recovering some of those losses.
Yeah.
But how do you see 2020 playing out? What's got you pretty fired up about the year?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I mean, this is a perfect storm of crap for base metals, right? Like, it's a continuation of trade wars, and then you lump coronavirus on top of that, and then potential economic slowdown associated with that. I guess for us, it's the medium to long-term thesis doesn't change. You have to think as management of a junior mining company, well, what's our strategy in a market like this? Do we proceed with business as usual? Do we, anticipation of a recovery? Do we slow down? What do we do? So at this point, we're looking at all the tools in our toolbox to figure out what options are available to us, and how do we proceed from there.
Can you lay out a couple of those options for us?
Yeah, sure. Look, the base case could be equity markets for juniors suck. Let's, what capital is available to us that isn't predatory flow-through funds. So let's just dial it back. Let's do a very small program. Let's not try to force it. Let's not blow our cap structure up. We've always had a very tight share structure, and this just does not seem like the right time to change that, right? So that's our base case. Then maybe there's I don't know if I'd call it a white knight, but maybe there's an opportunistic group who wants to come in and take a cornerstone position right now, and that could look like a major equity stake. And if we did that, it's dilution, but if it's the right partner, you can wrap your head around that. Maybe it's an asset level partnership, right? So these are all conversations we have, because I believe you have to kind of explore all of it. And even in the more radical stuff could be like a royalty or something like that, right? So these are the ways that you secure capital in challenging markets, and it's every decision is less than ideal, right? So or every decision you can make, every potential path. So it's just up to our board and management team to decide what lumps do we want to take, because we're taking something, right? There's no perfect year for any base metal company in 2020, right? So this is where investors have to take a look at the management team and say, are these guys good shepherds of a company in a challenging, market? Because this is where you separate the wheat from the chaff in the management teams, right?
Sure. So leave investors here with a glimpse into the future, short term here, and why would they want to be a shareholder or certainly follow the company?
Well, what I've been telling people is I think you and I were talking about it before, is that people like to call themselves contrarian investors, and they're like, oh, I'm into gold right now because I'm a contrarian. It's like, oh yeah, gold right now, you're such a contrarian. Like, look, you really want to call yourself a contrarian investor, you got to look at base metals, right? And what I've been telling people is there's incredible value in Fireweed and companies like Fireweed. I don't know that we get a re-rate in 3-6 months. If you're a trader, if you churn your portfolio, if that's your thing, I don't know that I can help you. But if you want to take your portfolio and you say, look, I'm placing a bet on a recovery in the base metal sector in 18, 24 plus months, you got to take a look at companies like us, and you got to park that capital, and you got to be comfortable giving the management teams a long leash and some lead time to deliver on value.
Okay, appreciate that update. That's Brandon Macdonald. He's the CEO of Fireweed Zinc, FWZ on the venture. Look forward to tracking your news in the future. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks.